Reason why this figure was higher in you gotta get dildo. That's what you're looking for. There were snacks that are the reason why this figure was higher in you gotta get dildo. That's what you're looking for. The reason why this figure was higher in you gotta get dildo. That's what you're looking for. There were snacks that are the reason why this figure was higher in you gotta get dildo. That's what you're looking for. The reason why this figure was higher in you gotta get dildo. That's what you're looking for. There were snacks that are the reason why this figure was higher in you gotta get dildo. That's what you're looking for.
All right, this is just a special, quick one to remind you guys about what is happening in beautiful Guyana, right? And then these political vagabonds want to do and say whatever they can to insult and disrespect individuals in Guyana, and then they jump on a plane. Obviously, this guy, this culprit, Dharam Lal, obviously he got his U.S. visa back. A couple of years ago, well, it's not so long ago, his visa was revoked. And so maybe he's now traveling on a diplomatic passport, right? He's traveling possibly on a diplomatic passport. And so when he probably sent his passport in at a U.S. Consular section, that it was stamped as a result of him being the holder of a diplomatic passport. And so it means also that once he no longer holds a diplomatic passport, there's a high possibility that he will return to not having a visa. Maybe that's the case with some other quote unquote ministers of the installed regime. Kwame McCoy being one of them as well, who has had his visa, his US visa, revoked. Okay, so what's this issue all about? What exactly is this all about? I'll explain in a minute.
The reason why this figure was higher in you gotta get dildo. That's what you're looking for. There were snacks that are the reason why this figure was higher in you gotta get dildo. That's what you're looking for.
And so, you know, these folks are currently, according to what we've heard, they're currently in the US. On the bottom of the screen is the address. They have a 6 o'clock meeting at Queens, in Queens, New York. That's they have a function at the Jamaica Performing Arts Center. It's located 153-10 Jamaica Avenue, Queens, New York. The telephone number is 718-658-7400, extension 100. And then there's the email address there as well. What you guys can do is, while I appreciate that you share the link, what you guys can do is call the telephone number 718-658-7400 and extension 100 and flood this center, the Jamaica Performing Arts Center. Flood them right now with phone calls and emails. Flood them with phone calls and emails. They have an event there this afternoon at 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock this afternoon. Those of you who are close by or can make it, go out there with your placards in your numbers. Go out there and protest, because you cannot have an individual who is basically surviving on taxpayers' monies. Taxpayers' money got them to where they are, and someone is asking what's the telephone number. The telephone number for again, it's scrolling right there. Everything is there, Mr. Joseph. You can see it. 718-658-7400. You call up that number. You can also email them. And if they get hundreds of phone calls right now, if they get hundreds of emails right now, then, again, Marl Joseph, the number is right there. It's on the scroll. You check at the bottom of the screen, you'll see the number 718-658-7400, extension 100. Not only can you call, you should also email. Don't sit, don't wait, call them right now. The place where this meeting is being held, something to celebrate the 52nd anniversary of Guyana becoming a republic. Give them a call. In fact, Meeks' office is just a block away. So I don't know if Congressman Meeks is going to walk over and shake these guys' hands today. But the issue is basically protesting, yes, protesting this event, because you cannot have an individual who insults women, all manner of things that is being said in Parliament, allegations upon allegations leveled against him, and to have him feel free to walk around and exercise the rights given to citizens of the United States of America or individuals residing here, that he feels comfortable to come and be part of the rights of individuals residing in here, when in Guyana he insults women, insults citizens, and then to come and enjoy that right here in the US, and then to give a speech as though nothing has happened. Again, the number is right there. The email address is right there. Johnny Dom, call the center right now. Circulate the number, please. Call the center right now. And if you can tag some of those folks, some of those officials, let them see and hear for themselves.
The reason why this figure was higher in, you gotta get dildo. That's what you're looking for. There were snacks that had. The reason why this figure was higher in, you gotta get dildo. That's what you're looking for.
Okay, so this is what has to happen. You have to flood the place with phone calls, flood with email messages as well to possibly have this event canceled because it is unacceptable. Absolutely unacceptable. If the number is busy, it simply means lots of phone calls are going through. So use your email as well. Send them an email. Let them know that you guys, as taxpayers of the United States of America, you're disgusted by this, and the Jamaica Performing Arts Center that is being funded by taxpayers' money should not encourage and have someone like Darren Lal to be at an event as an official. Totally unacceptable. And now, you know, I'm looking. Yep, you guys keep calling. Keep calling that number until you get through. Flood them. Flood the email as well. You see the email address there? JPAC, jpac@jcal.org, right? And let me play again so you guys can know and appreciate. Share the link. Let your friends them know and see what is happening. Here is a guy who is supposed to be a minister of the government, the installed government in Guyana. This is what he's saying, targeting opposition female members of parliament. He has since said that, no, that remark was not made toward a female, but a male, his colleague on the opposite side of the aisle, a member of parliament, Sharon Duncan. Even if it was for a male, it is unacceptable. But we know, of course, that would be his defense. It is unacceptable. And he cannot walk into anywhere in the United States of America and feel that people should just put up their hands and forgive him and hug him and kiss him as some sort of reputable individual visiting from Guyana. Absolutely not. It's not going to be accepted.
The reason why this figure was higher in you gotta get dildo. That's what you're looking for. There were snacks that had. The reason why this figure was higher in you gotta get dildo. That's what you're looking for.
Again, you guys heard that this is what is happening. That event has to be canceled. There are some folks who will be heading out there. There are some folks who will be heading out there, and so so we will be monitoring it. We will have individuals. We will go live as well. It just has to cancel. There are some folks who are working on ensuring that the folks at the 103rd precinct do not fall for this trick and offer any protection, because this guy, Darren Lal, doesn't deserve any protection, police protection at all. He doesn't deserve that. That is not what folks are paying taxes in the United States for, to protect hooligans, political hooligans, and vagabonds. It has got to stop. And yep, there's this event, and I don't want folks to just spread misinformation about and so forth. Mr. Joseph, if you can just calm down and relax. There's an invitation that has been sent out, and it's for the 22nd of February. It's the 52nd Republic Day anniversary celebration. The event will be held on Tuesday, February 22nd, 2022, from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. at the Jamaica Performing Arts Center, 153-10 Jamaica Avenue, New York. We would be honored to have you join us. That is what they're saying there. And that is the event they have this afternoon, right? That is the event they have this afternoon. So please let us not spread any misinformation. I have a flyer right here, and that is what it says on the flyer. Okay? That is what it says on the flyer. The contact person is Miss Nira Duki. Nira Duki. All right? So I'll be back in 30 seconds.
The reason why this figure was higher in you gotta get dildo. That's what you're looking for. There were snacks that I. The reason why this figure was higher in you gotta get dildo. That's what you're looking for. The reason why this figure was higher in you gotta get dildo. That's what you're looking for. There were snacks that I. The reason why this figure was higher in you gotta get dildo. That's what you're looking for.
Again, you guys call that office. Call that office. Call the center. Call them right now, and not only call them. There's an email address of the Jamaica Performing Arts Center, located on 153-10 Jamaica Avenue, Queens, New York. The telephone number is there, and just extension 100, that's the operator. Or you can email them. The event is scheduled for 6 o'clock this afternoon. Those of you who are close by can just get a placard and write on that placard, "No Dharamlal, no." Simple as that. So we've just got to send a message to the installed regime that they are not going to be disrespecting people, whether women or children, or to be insulting members of the opposition as well, to be persecuting people, to have racist tendency, and then want to fly to the United States of America and feel that all is hunky-dory. It is not. Absolutely not. So for those of you who are now joining us, there's going to be an event from 6 o'clock this afternoon at this place, the Jamaica Performing Arts Center in Queens, New York. Call the Jamaica Performing Arts Center right now and ask that this event be canceled. Ask that this event be canceled. Email them as well. Flood their office with phone calls and emails. Now, I'm not sure. Congressman Meek's office is just a stone throw away. I'm not sure if it is the congressman who approved them or who approved this event. And let us hope that other elected officials in New York City will not be attending the event. They will not be attending the event, right? So we've got to ensure that that doesn't happen. Because these guys, these politicians in New York and other places, they're coming up for re-elections. They want to be re-elected, but they cannot be hugging up and kissing up with dictators and little psycho and these sort of things. It just cannot happen. We cannot sit by and allow it to happen at all. Right? That is why you guys have to do the right thing. Call right now, and let even your local officials know that this is unacceptable.
The reason why this figure was higher in you gotta get dildo. That's what you're looking for. There were snacks that I. The reason why this figure was higher in you gotta get dildo. That's what you're looking for. The reason why this figure was higher in you gotta get dildo. That's what you're looking for. There were snacks that I. The reason why this figure was higher in you gotta get dildo. That's what you're looking for.
Yep, I'm looking at thank you, Colin, and others in terms of calling. You've got to call. You've got to call. You've got to leave messages. And those officials, those elected officials in the U.S. who go out and shake hands and the likes of Dharam Lal and so forth, you've got to watch them. And if they don't, if they embrace oppressors and individuals like Dharam Lal, let them know that elections coming up shortly. Let them know elections coming up shortly. Thank you, Winston Barker. All of you who are watching this show, who are listening right now, call the Jamaica Performing Arts Center. Call them and let them know that is it. And even if you can call the 103rd Precinct as well and let them know that no protection, none whatsoever, the taxpayers' money should be offered to this guy. None whatsoever. Absolutely none. He is getting beyond ridiculous, right? I'm not sure how he got his U.S. visa, whether it's through the diplomatic passport that I assume, mind you, I assume that he now has in his possession.
The reason why this figure was higher in you gotta get dildo. That's what you're looking for. There were snacks that I. The reason why this figure was higher in you gotta get dildo. That's what you're looking for.
Yep. And so someone is asking, where do they call? All the information is at the bottom of the screen. The event is scheduled for 6 o'clock, starting at 6 o'clock this afternoon. 6 o'clock. And that's the address, the Performing Arts out there in the Jamaica Performing Arts in Queens, New York. Queens, New York, right? In Queens, New York. I know of some women, some American women, not just Guyanese women, some American women are very upset about this situation, and they will be out there as well. So if you are in the Queens area, or if you are in Brooklyn or New Jersey, and you wish to go out there, just go right out there. And not just women. Of course, we'd love to see a bunch of women out there, right? Lots of women out there. Yep. Sorry about that. So lots of women are planning on being out there from 6 o'clock this afternoon. The address is right underneath there. This has got to stop. The installed regime has got to stop thinking that they can insult people, and get away with it. It is not going to happen. I agree with you, Mr. Barnwell. I agree with you that pressure has to start applying on Congressman Meeks. Pressure has to start applying on Congress.
The reason why this figure was higher in you gotta get dildo. That's what you're looking for. There were snacks that I. The reason why this figure was higher in you gotta get dildo. That's what you're looking for.
You guys are hearing everything loud and clear, right? Loud and clear, right here. This is what's happening. It's got to stop.
The reason why this figure was higher in you gotta get dildo. That's what you're looking for. There were snacks that I. The reason why this figure was higher in you gotta get dildo. That's what you're looking for.
So you're hearing it, right? You're hearing it loud and clear. This is not a Photoshop of anything. It is what he said. And he denied that he directed that particular statement to a female opposition member. He has denied that. Of course, he has denied it. But of course, the statement is right there. He made that, and he's claiming that it was directed at a male member of parliament, Sherrod Duncan. But regardless of whether it's a male or a female, just by him uttering that in parliament is totally unacceptable. But we all know that it wasn't directed at Sherrod Duncan, but the female members of parliament. That's the conclusion all of us arrived at. So his only excuse is that it was directed at a member of parliament, Sherrod Duncan. I'll talk about Duncan in just a minute or so.
The reason why this figure was higher in you gotta get dildo. That's what you're looking for. There were snacks that I. The reason why this figure was higher in you gotta get dildo. That's what you're looking for.
Yep, you guys have heard it. That's it. These are the kind of guys. These are the guys. They're in New York City right now. They have an event. An event will be held at the address there, that Jamaica Performing Arts, and the telephone number is there. It starts from 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock this afternoon. 6 o'clock this afternoon. And I see some folks are asking about that they thought that his visa was actually revoked. His U.S. visa was revoked. And so I'm assuming here that he now has a diplomatic passport. And so when you submit a diplomatic passport, then you are given permission to enter. Whether his mission is just 2 days or whatever it is, they do go that route and get their passport stamped with a diplomatic passport. Again, I assume that he's traveling on a diplomatic passport. But putting that aside, probably we'll deal with that some other time. Let's focus on the event this afternoon. The event this afternoon. Call up that number right there, right? Call that number. It's scrolling there. You can't miss it. It's at the bottom of the screen. Share that number with your friends also and other folks in the US, and have them call that number, or share the email address as well and have them call that email. Have them send an email to that email address asking for this event to be canceled, that it's unacceptable. It is unacceptable. The other person that you guys should be calling, because it's an elections year, it's elections time, right? And we've got to get this thing straight with these politicians over in the US. Richard Bob, thank you so much. Tell us, Richard, you called and what happened? The other person that you guys should be calling is Congressman Meeks. To call his office, call Congressman Meeks' office and let him know that you guys are aware of his cozy relationship with the PPP, his cozy relationship with the PPP, and it has got to stop. If you call Congressman Meeks' office now, the number is right there on the screen, 202-225-3461. Let Congressman Meeks know that elections are around the corner, right? Elections are around the corner. He wants to be re-elected. He wants hundreds or probably thousands of Guyanese votes in his district, and that if he doesn't do the right thing in terms of to be fair and not lean towards a regime that is corrupt, a regime that is racist, and a regime that has been installed, that you guys in his district will not go out and vote for him, and that you will call your relatives and friends to campaign against him. I hope Congressman Meeks will not be attending that event at 6 o'clock this afternoon. 6 o'clock this afternoon is that event. You know, I am not, I know that there are some women who are upset. They have asked for the tape because they couldn't believe what was said. This is in Parliament, and whether it was directed to Coretta McDonald or another female opposition member of Parliament or Sherrod Duncan is irrelevant. This is the behavior of this political, being described by many as a political hooligan.
The reason why this figure was higher in you gotta get dildo. That's what you're looking for. There were snacks that I. The reason why this figure was higher in you gotta get dildo. That's what you're looking for.
Yeah, the numbers are there. You see the number for Meeks. You see the number for Congressman Meeks' office. You see the number for Jamaica Performing Arts. The numbers are right there. Are right there. Are right there. Call those numbers. Call those numbers. In fact, I don't, Allison Richards, how it happens here, I don't think calling is a waste of time. We've got to stop saying that this is a waste of time or whatever. The more you call, because if you have 100 persons call, then you'll get their attention. As what is planned this afternoon in front of the Jamaica Performing Arts Center is a group of American women, and I'm hoping that they will be joined by Guyanese women too, Guyanese American also, will go out there in front of the Jamaica Performing Arts Center in Queens, New York. The address is right there on the screen, 153-10 Jamaica Avenue. You cannot miss it. You cannot miss this event. Pick up your phone. Sorry that I keep repeating this here, but you guys have to know how to be action-oriented. I know a lot of you are fighters. You're fighters on Facebook. You're fighters. You want the best for your country. And you can only have the best if you go the right route, to call your local politicians, your elected officials, and let them know that you are from Guyana and they want your vote. A lot of them, they want your vote. I'm calling Meeks' office now.
I'm sorry, the person you were trying to reach has a voicemail box that is not.
Okay, so we get voicemail box now from Meeks' office. Maybe we'll try to get another number from Meeks. Another number for him, because we've got to get the message to Congressman Meeks. We've just got to get the message over to Meeks. Not only Meeks, Delon Alexander, thank you. And you don't, not just females should be heading out there today, not just females. I know a lot of you are calling the numbers, you're not getting through. Just keep calling. Just keep calling. This has got to stop. And one way or the other, it's got to stop.
The reason why this figure was higher in you gotta get dildo. That's what you're looking for. There were snacks that the The reason why this figure was higher in you better get dildo. That's what you're looking for.
Yep. Keep on calling those numbers. We've got to make this happen. It has got to stop. And what is being done here today is that you guys have nothing to fear. Like I've said earlier, the event starts at 6 o'clock. From 6 to 8, they have 2 hours there. You guys can go out there with your placards. It may rain, but you have your umbrellas, right? To go out there, and this little political mannish puppy, as we would say, has got to be tamed. And he cannot be disrespectful to individuals in Parliament, disrespectful to citizens. Let's see what Meek's office has to say. Hi, good afternoon. Is there a press person there for the congressman?
That person is in Washington. Who's calling, please?
Oh, that's okay. My name is Mark Benshop, and I'm actually hosting a radio show. And I was made to understand that there is an event at the Jamaica Performing Arts Center, which is not far from the congressman's New York's office. Is the congressman scheduled to make an appearance this afternoon there?
I'm sorry, you're calling from where, sir?
I'm calling from Benshop Radio. And
no, he's out of the country.
He's currently out of the country. So, all right, because we were hoping that there was no affiliation with the congressman's office, and this event to commemorate the 52nd anniversary of Guyana's republic status. I know the congressman is close to some of those operatives in the regime in Guyana, and as a Guyanese, I do speak on behalf, of thousands of other Guyanese who would like to see the congressman plays a fair game when it comes to the politics there in Guyana. So we are hoping that the congressman would not attend this event this afternoon. But thanks for letting us know that he's out of the country.
Have a good day, sir. You're welcome.
Thank you. All right. So just to ensure that we are on this guy's track, we're not going to sidetrack at all. We're just not going to sidetrack. We are going to continue. We're not going to be intimidated. You guys keep calling, right? Let me give you guys the number so that you can call as well. Call that same number. Let him know that we are serious. The number is let me ensure that we jot it down for you guys, right? Let these folks know that we are serious this time around, right? We're not going to sit by and allow these sort of disrespect to happen, to continue to happen. It's just not, we are not going to allow that to happen. Now, let me give you guys this number. That's Congressman Meek's office number in New York. If you call it right now, right? Now I notice, let's think for a moment, and oftentimes the irrelevant comments from one Catherine or whomever. If I'm asking folks to join some other women out there, and this person jumps out from God in heaven knows where, but Mark, you're telling us to go out there. Will you be out there? What does it matter whether I am out there or not? I am here. I am doing my part. But this is the sort of nonsense we have to face with. Whether this person is going to go out there or not, she or he is saying that I am telling people to go out there. Am I going to be out there? Look how many times I was out there all alone protesting, not in front there, but all alone. But now, oh, all manner of excuse. Is Mark going to be there? You're telling us to go out there, but you're not going to be there. What does it matter? If you can't go, just don't go. Don't come with silly stuff. But Mark, are you going to go out there? Just go if you can, Catherine. Gosh, I wish I can scratch my head. You're going to be out there. Let's not. That is how we lose focus, right? But these silly little things. These silly little things, right? I agree. I agree with you, Rahman Mohammed, and welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. I agree with you, but not that he's young. He's been around the old goat. He's been around for an old political goat. He has been around for a while. He has been making these sort of silly statements. It goes on and on and on and on. It has got to stop, Mohammed. It has got to stop. It has got to stop. Right? It has got to stop. To stand there. How, Mr. Mohammed? And this, I understand where you're coming from. I don't have a problem with your comment. But what if your daughter, your wife, or your sister, some female relative of yours, or a friend was the subject of the target of this sort of abuse?
The reason why this figure was higher in, you gotta get dildo. That's what you're looking for. There were snacks that had. The reason why this figure was higher in, you gotta get dildo. That's what you're looking for.
And now I know, Mr. Mohammed, you wouldn't want that to a remark coming from someone who is a lawmaker, set to be a lawmaker of a country, to be making that sort of remark. Let me play it again so you can hear.
The reason why this figure was higher in, you gotta get dildo. That's what you're looking for. There were snacks that had. The reason why this figure was higher in, you gotta get dildo. That's what you're looking for.
Totally unacceptable, right, Mr. Mohammed? Now, let's go back to the number there. That is Congressman Meeks, New York's number. Give him a call. That's his number in New York. Give him a call. Give him a call right now. Give his office a call. You've got to flood his office with phone calls right now. Let him know that you guys are concerned about his cozying up to the installed regime of Guyana. Even if you can't make it at the protest this afternoon, it starts at what time now? It's 2:00. It starts in about 4 hours time. 4 hours time, right? Just go out there. Don't worry whether that bench are telling y'all to go out there and y'all and go. We know the likes. We know where the likes of a Catherine is coming from, who doesn't want to go, right? But is trying to have some sort of diversion and play this reverse psychology that Ben Sharp is telling people to go out, but Ben Sharp ain't going out. We don't have time with nonsense, Catherine. We just don't, because we know what you're about. If you can't go, don't go. And don't say that Ben Sharp telling people to go, but is Ben Sharp going to be there? You go out, and if you see me there, you see me. If you don't see me, well, I don't have to be everywhere, right? But we understand what you're attempting to do, Catherine. Now let's get back to regular programming, right? It's about this here, and let's not lose focus.
The reason why this figure was higher in, you gotta get dildo. That's what you're looking for. There were snacks that had. The reason why this figure was higher in you gotta get dildo. That's what you're looking for.
So again, yes, keep calling the congressman's office. Keep calling his office. And I do hope I do hope that the organizers, the folks in New Jersey, are not going to be so brazen and want to have these folks, especially Dharamlal, there, and to hug him and kiss him and to rush to any local politician in New York City to give him some sort of recognition or proclamation and these sort of things, right? It has got to stop one way or the other. It has got to stop. All right? I noticed Mikhail King is asking if Sharon got whatever it is. But you see, that's the level of discourse, especially coming from supposedly a man. I'm assuming that Mikhail is a man, right? Yeah, is concerned about whether Sharon got it or not. I don't know. These guys are something else. They're always fixated on one thing, and only we can understand why, right? We can understand why, indeed. So head on out. Don't be distracted. Head on out. Head on out. I noticed a comment there from Myrna, and Myrna is correct that Guyana gained its independence in 1966 and became a republic on February 23rd. Do the math. Well, I got you. And you should actually be directing that to the Ministry of Finance. The Ministry of Finance, what's the budget? The budget is 500 and what is it? 500. Let me see if you guys know what the budget is, right? We're all getting kind of old, but I think the budget is $552.6 billion from an agency that doesn't know, can do the math. From 1966 to 2022, they're saying it is 52 years. And that's how they're doing the math. That's precisely how they're doing the math. You can just imagine how they arrived at that figure of $552.6 billion. I don't know. Now let's get back. Let's get back to today's event. On the screen right there, the number for Congressman Meeks. Give Congressman Meeks, give the office a call right now. Give his office a call right now and let him know how disgusted you guys are about his attitude towards Guyana and his cozying up with the PPP, the members of the installed PPP regime. And what we will be doing is we will be watching at all of the elected officials here in the United States, especially those in New York. In New York, that will be asking Guyanese and other individuals not to vote for those individuals. And Mr. Meeks, you know, if there is someone competing against you, I am sure that most Guyanese that I know will not be voting for Congressman Meeks. Most Guyanese will not be voting for Congressman Meeks. And those Guyanese in Brooklyn, I know you will go out in your numbers and ensure that Hakeem Jeffries, Congressman Hakeem Jeffries, is reelected, and also Yvette Clarke. And you take your chances with those individuals because you know where they stand. They stand on the side of what is justified, truth and right. They stand on the side of justice, fairness, those two. But I'm not sure many of us, we are seeing the evidence that Congressman Meeks is about that. So call his office, 347-230-4032. Call his office number right now. Let them know what's going on. 347-230-4032. Let Congressman Meeks know that the Guyanese community, majority of members of the Guyanese community, are upset. Now let's go back for those who are non-Guyanese who might be watching and want to know what this is about. Well, you have individuals. These individuals are quote unquote officials of the installed PPP regime. Right? They are members and they have a meeting coming up or some event at the Jamaica Performing Arts Center, located at 153-10 Jamaica Avenue, Queens, New York. There is an event there to celebrate the 52nd anniversary of Guyana becoming a republic. 52nd anniversary. February 23rd, 1970. February 23rd, 1970. And these individuals will be there, including that guy, Dharam Lal, who said this here.
The reason why this figure was higher in, you gotta get dildo. That's what you're looking for. There were snacks that I. The reason why this figure was higher in, you gotta get dildo. That's what you're looking for.
All right, so that is what this is about. I know a lot of you guys on social media, you like to, you comment on things happening. You want to see action in Guyana. You want people to go out and protest and so forth. Well, here's your opportunity, especially for those of you who are residing in Queens. It is easier for you who are residing in Queens, right? I'm not sure where Catherine Catherine Endless resides, whether she is a real or some other fake profile or whatever, I don't know. But if she lives in Queens, maybe she could stop by there instead of wondering whether I am going to be there or not. If I'm there, well, Sherry Van Rossum, how are you? Sherry Van Rossum, that she called the 202 number and it is working. She spoke with someone. There you go. Thank you so much, Sherry Van Rossum. You guys keep calling. Call the Queen's number. Call the Queen's number. You got to start flooding these people, offices, with phone calls and emails and these things. Call the venue where this event is taking place today. Call that venue, the Jamaica Performing Arts Center. Call them. Or if you're in Queens, head by there. Go by there. You know what I mean? Let's not be distracted with the likes of a Catherine, please. Let's not do that, because sometimes these folks just come to distract and get into argument and pull you guys away and run up your blood pressure and all these sort of things. It's probably someone from the office of the president, as they call it, the office of the president in Guyana, who's being paid $60,000 or $70,000 to blog. They're being paid 60, 70,000 every month to blog. And most of them who are blogging are bloggers. They have 10, 15 different Facebook accounts. 10, 15 different Facebook accounts, right? To blog and blog and blog all day and talk dotishness and these things. And then somebody else now come out and asking who is Sue. Just a dry man. Somebody is saying Gwyneth Jones is saying that his name is Mr. Dildo, but probably more appropriate to be addressed as Lil Doe. Lil Doe, like they have Lil Wayne and Lil Mace and so forth. Lil Doe. Lil Doe. All right, so again, this event is 6 o'clock this afternoon. Head out there, get a placard. If you're in Queens, it's easier for you. You get a placard, all you women and even men, not just women, to go out there and protest this event. Protest it. All right? Protest this event. All right? You know, I'm looking at the comments section and I really don't like the cat fights, you know. Sometimes I feel that the cat fights are basically a distraction. You know, it's a distraction, a diversion. You know, that's what it is, a distraction. You know, are basically here to distract from the real stuff, you know. Yep. Charles, thank you. Thank you so much. The 202 number is working. So you guys continue to call the 202 number, continue to call the New York number. Sometimes it's good to call the Washington number for these guys. It's good to call the Washington number for these folks. And this is how you up the pressure on them. And for those who are now joining us, this event, the protest, even if it's 10, even if it's 20 persons turn up, it's about this guy, Dharamlal, who's going to be part of a visiting team from Guyana, comprising of Mark Phillips, Parag, Prasad. That guy on the right is Robert Prasad, and the guy next to Robert Prasad is Mr. Lil Doe, right? And going out there to protest Lil Doe and others that it is unacceptable. This is the United States of America. You can't come up and be cozy up with politicians here and then expect things just to be hunky-dory. It is not at all. So
the reason why this figure was higher in you gotta get Dildo. That's what you're looking for. There were snacks that had the reason why this figure was higher in you gotta get Dildo. That's what you're looking for.
all right, so so that is what it's about. I'm still looking at some of your comments. And I guess the name is quite appropriate for him, Lil Doe, a controversial figure in Guyana, no stranger, of course, to serious allegations, no stranger to those sort of things. His U.S. visa was once revoked. I don't know what has happened, but he, you know, so yes, head out there in Queens, New York, to protest this event that they have coming up at 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock this afternoon. You've got to be out there. You've got to protest, not just on social media. It's good, yeah, but protest goes all over. But you got to be able to call the elected officials and Mr. Meeks Congressman Meeks is the chairman of the Foreign Relations Committee, and he's got to know what is happening, and it's time that he acts. He just can't sit down and just brush it aside because he is supposedly friends with a lot of those guys who are part of the installed regime, right? Again, I don't know who Catherine Endless is, but it looks as though she comes here for a distraction and a cat fight. We do not operate like cat fighters here. We're not cat fighters. We get straight to the point and we deal with issues. Somebody's asking, we're in Queens. The address is right there. If you look at the bottom of the screen, you will see all the information there. Jamaica Performing Arts Center. It's 153-10 Jamaica Avenue, Queens, New York. The telephone number is right there. The email address is right there. You can't miss it. And I want to be able to carry it live as well. So once you're in the Queens area, just put this on your GPS and you'll put the address in 153-10 Jamaica Avenue. And it takes you right there. You come out, you have your placards, and that's it. Look, they got a He-Man Chan Ram says, you are garbage, just like the people who is going out to protest. You see the level? The level. Look, let's let the operator throw that one in the trench. Let Catherine go in the trench, man. This is not like nursery school. This is not like nursery school. This is not like nursery school. Naz Yan, good afternoon. It is irrelevant whether I am going out there or not, Naz, right? And it's irrelevant whether I'm going to be there or not. It is irrelevant. It's in Queens, New York, and people who are close by can definitely hop on the bus or hop on the train or in the car, 10, 15 minutes, and they're there. And even if 10 persons are there, that's a heck of a lot. It is not a debate right now as to who is going and who ain't going. Mark, you go in. Pamela Fontanile, are you going? Or Miss Booker, you going? Or Richard Bob, are you going? If this body ain't going, me ain't going. Come on. Somebody's asking now if there's parking. There's parking all over New York. You'll find parking. I remember somebody gave me an address to a dance, and I get the address, me not asking them if there's parking or not. I just make sure I find a parking and go in the dance. Just treat this event as though it's a dance. That somebody give you an address, just go, you will find parking somewhere. There's always parking around. There's parking. Is Mark going to be there? Is Mark going to have on a hat? Is Mark going to wear short jacket? Is this body going to be there? Come on, guys. We can do better. We can do better. Even if you turn out and you're the only one there, it's still representation. It doesn't matter who is going. Thank you, Sean Withers. Just show up. Just show up. Somebody now calling, look, we talking about what's happening right now. And somebody come on, Pamela Fontanelle, talking about war in Europe. Oh, Father, must help me sometimes, man. Help me sometimes with some of the listeners, them now. Vincent Carnelson, good afternoon. War in Europe. We know there's this escalation in between Ukraine and Russia. We know about the escalation and so forth, but we're not talking about the escalation. We're talking about a simple protest. Let us get back in line. Let us get back in line. Too many distractions. We're talking about a protest this afternoon in front of this building, the Performing Arts, Jamaica Performing Arts Center. We're not talking about war in Europe. What the war in Europe got to do with this year? First, Pamela, you ask if they get parking. They must get parking. Somebody, for Christmas, somebody get me a new Bible. I got to get a Bible. Every time somebody asks these are the questions, I'll just open the Bible. Quick. Pamela, I hope you're there this afternoon. And if I'm there, we'll just hold each other's hands and pray, man. We'll just do that. But let's get back to what we're thinking. Call the so Pamela is asking, how will it affect Guyanese? Oh, Father. Somebody pray, Brenda. Somebody out there, Brenda Britwith, Brenda Casey, Claire Farbs, somebody, Peggy, Pamela Gorick. Somebody pray for me, man. Y'all pray for me. Y'all think it's easy to sit here and host a show? Somebody talking about war now, food shortage. Oh, Father. I don't know what else I can say. MK Blair saying I should take it easy. You think it's fun? Anyways, back to this guy, Lil Do. Back to Lil Do, right? And why it's important to be out there this afternoon, why it's important to call Congressman Meek's office. Look, the number is right there, 347-230-4032. And some of you guys got the 202 number. Or the Jamaica Performing Arts Center in Queens, New York. The address is 153-10 Jamaica Avenue, Queens, New York. The telephone number is right there. Call them and tell them that you've had enough. And the taxpayers' money that's being spent to upkeep that building and these shows cannot go towards folks like this guy.
The reason why this figure was higher in you gotta get dildo. That's what you're looking for. There were snacks that had the reason why this figure was higher in you gotta get dildo. That's what you're looking for.
All right, so let's stay focused, guys. Let's stay focused, right? 6 o'clock this event starts, and you guys, those of you who can make it, head on out there. Take a placard with you, right? And ensure that you send a message to these individuals that the sort of things that are happening in Guyana is unacceptable. And you don't want your elected officials in the United States of America to be part of these people's agenda. That's all. That's all, Oswald Smith, right? So even if you're not in Queens and you're close by, and you know that you have relatives or friends who reside in Queens and can make it, let them go. Call them and let them go. All right? Just do just that. Call them and let them go. Yeah, call them and let them know. And we get the distractions and president on ships heading there. Please ignore me. And what is this, man? What is this all about, Pamela? On this day, 2/22/22. No, this can't have that sort of effect. Sorry. It just can't. What's going on? Pamela? All the Pamelas. Let me see how many people named Pamela here. Let me make sure I get it right, Pamela. Pamela Gurick? What going on, man? I hope the first name have anything to do with what's happening here with Pamela Fontanile. I don't know. But let's stay focused, guys. Let's stay focused.
The reason why this figure was higher in you gotta get dildo. That's what you're looking for. There were snacks that I. The reason why this figure was higher in you gotta get dildo. That's what you're looking for.
All right, so I see there's a let me just say, Pamela Fontanelle, we got your message. Thank you so much. Hope you go out there. God bless you. All right. And for the war in Europe, let us pray for peace. You clasp your hands, Miss Fontaine, as we pray. We've got to pray for peace, right? Because Miss Fontanelle has made a point. She says there's a war going on in Europe. And she is, she kept repeating that over and over and over and over. And what is the Father? As I hold hands with my sister Pamela, I ask that you continue to guide and bless her and heal all of us in every aspect. And also we pray for peace for the people in the Ukraine and other areas there in Ukraine and their neighbors. We pray for peace. Amen. Amen. Pray for peace. God bless you, Pamela. Now let's get back to this whole protest action this afternoon. The address is right there. It's the Jamaica Performing Arts Center, JPAC 153-10, Jamaica Avenue, Queens, New York. You can't miss it. You can't miss it at all. You just can't miss it. Call them or email. Head out there. Thank you guys for saying amen and amen and amen, right? I just got a few more minutes before I head out of here, but don't forget.
The reason why this figure was higher in you gotta get dildo. That's what you're looking for. There were snacks that I. The reason why this figure was higher in you gotta get dildo. That's what you're looking for.
All right, coming from Lil Do. Mr. Lildo, Mr. Lildo, I don't know. Somebody asked a good question here. Whether the MPs, the opposition MPs protested. No, I don't think there was a protest. There should have been a protest. The opposition MPs, especially the female MPs, and the women organizations of the parties that comprise the main opposition, the AFC, APNU, PNC, and so forth. And that's the sort of action that we're talking about, right? When you don't see those sort of actions, sometimes, and you talk about it, sometimes people do get vexed. But don't forget, that's the address there, Jamaica Performing Arts Center. Go out there. Even if it's a little placard you have, or you just go and show solidarity with the other women who are going to be standing out there. You'll get your protection from the 103rd Precinct. You guys deserve all of that protection, and not folks like Dharamlal, disrespectful individuals like Dharamlal. Right? Later on, we probably, on Straight Up, we'll talk about what the corrupt PPP regime is doing with the CCTV camera that they have given. They've given devices to their cronies, their friends and cronies, to monitor those cameras around Georgetown and activities. And they have that power to shut it off and to tamper with it, and all these manner of things under the corrupt installed PPP regime. Don't forget, call Congressman Meek's office, let him know how you feel. And for those of you who are in Queens, go out to that place this afternoon. It starts at 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock. Hopefully you'll get to see Mark Phillips going in. You don't have to hug him. You don't have to shake his hands, because these guys don't mean well, and until they start getting their acts together, then maybe if you see them, you could shake their hands. But for now, they don't deserve a handshake or a hug or whatever. But let them hear your voices. Let them read your placards and those sort of things. And for those of you who are planning and who will be heading out there this afternoon, just be safe. You know that the police will not gun you down. You know they're not going to snatch you off the sidewalk and arrest you. They're not going to do that. The police operate quite different than those paid political police in Guyana. All right, so hopefully once women are down in front of this Jamaica Performing Arts Center building this afternoon at 6 o'clock, I can probably come back live and let you guys see what's happening. But go out there, play your part, participate. It's democracy, and you've got to fight for betterment. Not just betterment in the United States, but betterment in our home country, Guyana. Lots of wrong things happening in that country. And we've got to be able to stand up and defend democracy by every legal means necessary. Protest is a legal means, and we've just got to do it. Don't be afraid. See you tonight.
The reason why this figure was higher in you gotta get dildo. That's what you're looking for. There were snacks that I. The reason why this figure was higher in you gotta get dildo. That's what you're looking for. The reason why this figure was higher in you gotta get dildo. That's what you're looking for. There were snacks that I. The reason why this figure was higher in you gotta get dildo. That's what you're looking for. The reason why this figure was higher in you gotta get dildo. That's what you're looking for. There were snacks that I. The reason why this figure was higher in you gotta get dildo. That's what you're looking for. The reason why this figure was higher in you gotta get dildo. That's what you're looking for. There were snacks that I. The reason why this figure was higher in you gotta get dildo. That's what you're looking for. The reason why this figure was higher in you gotta get dildo. That's what you're looking for. There were snacks that I. The reason why this figure was higher in you gotta get dildo. That's what you're looking for.